Hey, what's up, folks? It's time for Friday Sports Battle. We got ourselves a couple of NBA games tonight. Man, you know what I was thinking about you as I was putting together this thing? And I know you were big on, you thought Clippers Bucks was like your finals picks, kind of as the regular season was winding down. If you're rooting on the Bucks or the Clippers right now, I mean, those two teams have taken you for an emotional roller coaster ride just throughout this series. I mean, you had Milwaukee looking like they had this thing wrapped in the first half of game five, only to lose, to come back. It looked like they were down. The Clippers have been so up and down. Are you okay? Are you going to have a
Well,
heart attack? Are you able to get through this? Because this has been a roller coaster ride.
it has been a very much a roller coaster ride for these teams. Yeah, I mean, fortunately for me, I haven't been like betting on them each game. I just have a couple of futures bets for pretty small money that would just be awesome if they win. Nothing like that's going to kill me if they lose. And yeah, I mean, this whole playoffs, like to be quite honest, was surprised that the Clippers won. You know, that was a great example of a team getting up when their stars out for the first game, and the other team kind of letting up a little bit because the other team's best player was out, combined with Donovan Mitchell's injury. The most shocking thing for me was waking up, 2 days ago must have been, or yesterday, and Philly lost that game. I thought I had fallen asleep. They were up with last I checked almost 30. This whole playoffs is crazy. I don't know what to make of the Clippers. I mean, I feel like they have to win tonight, but with Mitchell clearly injured, Conley injured, they're at home. Like, man, we got a couple good games tonight because kind of expect Philly to roll, but man, Philly's got to be feeling it after these two collapses.
I mean, they're in Atlanta too. Like, if they were in Philly,
Oh,
I'd feel better about it. So, like, I'm with you. We're going to break down the Philly Atlanta game, but I'm real torn on how this game works out. Last night's Bucks game worked out how I expected it to. Only I just wasn't sure at what point the Bucks were going to put the nail in the coffin. Was it going to be second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? They waited to the fourth. But outside of Chris Middleton, the Bucks shot 2 of 25 from three last night, which is 8%. If Connington or Brook Lopez or Drew makes any of their three-pointers, that game could have been over a lot earlier. Tonight's game, Philly Atlanta. Woo, doggy! I don't know what's going to happen in this one.
definitely. It seemed like Milwaukee kept Brooklyn a little bit live last night when they didn't need to.
Couldn't hit any outside shots, and they to win by double digits when everybody outside of Middleton shoots 8% from three-pointer is impressive. Doesn't mean anything going into Game 7. The Nets look tired. They've been worn out. They've had to do a lot in the postseason. The rotation is short. All that being said, guys, we're here to talk Atlanta and Philadelphia, and we're here to talk about Sports Battle, a new up-and-coming DFS app. Y'all got iPhones, y'all got Androids. Go get them. Google Play, App Store. You know where to find these things. They will do a 100% deposit match up to $100. So get your money in, get your $100 on the app, and start betting. We've run through the scoring system day by day, so no reason to beat a dead horse right here. It's very similar to DraftKings. If you want the ability to see the little nuanced differences, download the app and read through it. And then the other big difference is going to be attack mode versus defense mode. And you can get paid, son, if you're willing to play the attack mode. Defense mode is a little bit more my speed. But like we always said, this could be slate dependent. If you feel really confident in something, try attacking as opposed to playing defense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like anything else, slate dependent. You got to kind of fit what fits you.
All right, so let's move into today's plays. Start with Joel Embiid. And very much like how we felt about Giannis yesterday, I feel the same way about Embiid here today. It's your best player in an elimination game. He's dropped many, many more points in this score in the majority of the games in the series already. So I got the over at Embiid, and it's probably, for me, the easiest pick up here.
Agreed. Give me the over here, like no questions asked.
I would go over on the 60. If they could bump this up, if there was a way for me to get extra points on this one by, raising the score a few points, I would.
Yeah, I'm with that. It's a good idea.
All right, next up, Trae Young, game in Atlanta. I told you guys I'm a little bit torn about how this game works out. I'm real torn on what I think of Trae. I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, though, and take the over. This is Atlanta's shot right here. This is their Game 7, in my opinion. If they go back to Philly, I don't think they got a shot in hell beating Philly in Philly after what's happened. This is their opportunity to shock the world right here. So give me Trae Young, who has proven a lot to me in this postseason. Even if the Atlanta loses the next two games, I have much different feelings about Trae Young than I did at the start of the postseason.
At the start of the season, I mean, Trae Young now looks like a guy you'd want to build around, like one of the top, young players in the league. A lot of that's based on what he's done this postseason. He's going to continue to do that, but it's impressive, man. Won that first round series with ease pretty much, and now taking Philly to the brink. If they win this series, I mean, you got to start really talking about Trae Young as one of the best players in the league, like not just one of the best scorers or anything like that. I'm going to take over here. I think Philly wins this game, but I think that Trae Young plays well, and it's a game for sure.
All right, next up, Ben Simmons. Confidence in the tank right now. So I called out Simmons. I know I rolled solo on the NBA video today. I called out Simmons as a long shot. With all of the smart money, and I admit the smart money goes on Trae Young, Embiid, and Paul George if you're playing on pay sites tonight. I called out Ben Simmons as a long shot. And you look at that fantasy score of 38.6, I don't expect him to go over. I like the idea of him as a long shot on pay sites, but when given the opportunity, this guy is now a liability in the fourth quarter. His confidence is through the floor, and you want somebody's confidence to be through the roof. So while I totally think it's a plausible idea that he balls in the first quarter tonight, if I can only make one choice, there's no low ownage here, right? You're just making the call. So I'm going to take the under. I've been very disappointed with him.
So you're pretty confident in the under, it seems. I'm more torn than you, and you're right. You don't not take the under because other people are taking it or anything like that. I feel like this could go easily under or easily over, depending on who we see tonight. I'm still going to give him the benefit of the doubt and go over and say they think that he plays a really good game here.
If you were to say, give me 3-1 to take the over, yeah, then I would take the over, but there's no odds in it. That's where I'm like a little bit torn on this one. The other thing with Ben Simmons is if like there was like a quarter bet system right here, I would want to pound the over in the first quarter. I think he might get off to a real good start. We saw him do this a couple games ago. And then the fourth quarter is where he really gets timid because they keep doing the hack of bet and putting him on the line, where he's even worse than Giannis right now, which is hard to say, but he's mentally blocked right there. I think this dude needs a sports psychologist.
Yeah, I have no arguments.
They show clips of him in practice just knocking down shot after shot, so he's just so timid right now. It's really it's disheartening.
Yeah, it's sad.
All right, man. Next up, Tobias Harris. So I had more faith in Tobias Harris recently, but whoo! I mean, I forget who said this the other day. They're like, Curry is clearly Embiid's number 2 right now. And again, thank you for all the kind words. Everybody called out the Curry call. Thank you. Just got a little lucky on that one. Harris is in my doghouse right now. He's looked awful lately.
Yeah, he didn't even score and no field goals in the second half last game. I mean, that's a wow. So
I think at home I would take the over, but on the road I'm going to go with the under.
I'm going to go with the under also.
All right. Next up, John Collins. So when I was doing my lineups the other day, I got stuck in a position where my utility spot was exactly John Collins' price. So I decided to ride with him. I liked him just enough that I felt okay with it because I love the other 7 guys I have. Well, I watched Collins really closely because I rostered him that game. And I was impressed. This guy's had growing confidence throughout the series. With the game at home tonight, my second favorite play out of these 6 is the over on John Collins.
I'm going to ride you here. I didn't have a hard stance either way. Sounds like you have a good grasp on it, and I will trust you here. I'll go over as well with you.
He's played really well the last 2 games. And this is a guy, and I was kind of joking around on the NBA podcast that he's had growing confidence because he lacked playoff experience, which is bound to happen when you play for Atlanta, but he's looked more and more comfortable as the playoffs have progressed. And I do have pretty good faith in him today. Next up, we got Clint Capella. This is just like Tobias Harris in the sense that if this game was in Philly, I'd take the under. Because it's in Atlanta, I'll give him the over on this one.
Yeah, same. Give me the over here. Shouldn't be that hard for him to get there. I expect a close game at home. I like him a lot more. I'm with you.
You saw, like with Milwaukee and Brooklyn last night, like rotations are short right now.
Yeah.
And Capella is one of their better 6 or 7 players, obviously. So if there's a night to give him big minutes, unless Embiid gets him into foul trouble, he should be out there for big minutes tonight.
I'm with you. I like that point a lot.
So I think the Nets and Bucks, between the 2 of them last night, 13 guys played.
Wow, that's much different from the regular season.
Much, much different. Like, I don't think Brooklyn, I want to say Brooklyn only went 6 deep. Oh, 14 if you count Thanasis, who played for like 13 seconds at the end of a quarter for a defense possession.
Okay, yeah, that counts.
if you count it, right?
For sure.
Not a lot of guys, especially when it's not into the game run, only play for 14 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So, All right, guys, SportsBattle. Check them out. Get them on your iPhone. Get them on your Android. Get your money in. 100% deposit match up to $100. Have good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.